this is Chapter 2, Section 5. This is the third video. So let's say we have a data set. You're not going to hand calculate these when they're larger data sets. I'm going to give you sets that are 70, 80, 90, 100 numbers. Right? You're going to obviously copy these to a spreadsheet. So make a tab. When you paste, you have regular paste, and you have paste that's just the numbers. You want just the numbers, right? Don't put formatting into the spreadsheet because you want the raw data as it was. You know what I'm saying? So you want them all in one column is what you really want. So make sure whenever you put the data into the spreadsheet, they're in one column so we can do the calculations easily, essentially. Okay, so I'm going to put these in the one column really quickly. Right, notice how I'm highlighting what I want to move, and then I just put the little mouse there. It changes from a open plus to a closed plus, and I can click and drag. Okay, once I have it in one column, I'm going to click that column and do data sort, right, ascending or descending, and then it should be what we have. All right, so we have mean, median, mode, mid-range. Okay, oh, I forgot the equals there. All right, so home right there. All right, so we want to add them up, right? Oops, add them up, add them all up. Add them up and divide by the count. I believe should work. Okay, and I get 23.95, and you can do it in 2 steps too if you wanted to, right? So, right, so we can do the sum, right, is all of these values, right? Is all those, add them all up, you get that, and then the count is how many values there are, right? And you divide those two, and you get this essentially. Okay, so in the spreadsheet, it's a lot quicker to do it than to do it manually with your little 99-cent calculator. You know what I'm saying? I can add them up and divide pretty quickly to get an answer. And then median, same thing. If I look at my data, I have 40 values. So 40 divided by 2 is 20. There is not an odd number here. There's an even number. There's no true middle. So therefore, 20 and 21 is the middle of my data. That's the middle of my data, right, for the median. So essentially what I want to do is add those two up. So this one plus this one, right, and divided by 2, okay, and that is my median essentially. Okay, because a median only has a true middle if it's an odd number of values. Otherwise, you have to take the average. Well, they happen to be the same in this case, so it works out to be the same value, but that, not always the case. Okay, mode, not so much. You have to kind of look through the list, and if you kind of highlight, you can see there's 4 values there. Down in the corner there, it says 4 values, right? Okay, but I go to 22, there's 4 values. 23, highlight those, it says there's 7 values of those. 24 is 5 values. 25, there are 7 values. And 26, there's only 6, so it looks like 23 and 25 both have, right? So 23 and 25, right? So that's bimodal, right? Because there's 2 of them that have 7 values, the highest frequency, essentially, right? So this essentially is 23 and 25, right? And this is, in fact, bimodal, okay? It's 2 modes. All right, mid-range is just the middle by doing the max and the min, correct? Like the middle of the range, right? Like a golf range, right? So max is down here, plus the min is right there, right? And the divided by 2, I get my mid-range, which is 24.5. Okay, so you can see how this is a lot quicker to do it with the spreadsheet once you have the numbers in there, especially when you have large quantities of numbers. Okay. All right, so the last thing is weighted mean. So if the values are all equally likely to happen, so if it's, you buy a cookie, you count how many chips are on the cookie, each cookie is equally likely to happen in the pack, you know what I'm saying? And if you do IQ of kids, one kid is not more likely to happen than another. But each of these have a weight to them, you know what I'm saying? So each of these have a grade associated with the credits, right? So the credits are the weight. So the more credits it's worth, the more weight this grade has, essentially. So I have to multiply each, let's see here, each grade by a weight, okay? So I have 3 credits, and I have an A in English, and I have 3 credits, and I have a C in psychology, and I have 4 credits, and I have a B in biology, and I have 2 credits, and that's going to be a D in physical education. Okay, so if I add up the weights, 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 2, right? So that's 6 and 6. That gives me 12 credits I'm currently having at my college or high school, or the case may be. All these are more than 1 credit per course. I'm going to assume this is probably college, right? So that's going to be, let's see, 2, 12, 6, and 12. So that would be, what, 32? Divide by 12. Whoops. Didn't put my equal sign in there, right? So about 32 divided by 12. So that's going to go in 2.6 repeating number of times. Okay, so at that point, my GPA is actually 2.6, right? That's how that works. Okay, so let's say we do a grade 1, though, right? So let's say we do at a community college. I got a breakdown for a semester, right? 20, 50, and 30, which is 100%, correct? So I got an 83 on a test, 79 on the exam, and a 4 out of 5 on assignments. Okay, so if I do this here, I'm going to get 20% is the weight, right? And I got a 4 out of 5 on my assignments. Okay, and then the test is 50%, correct? And I got an 83.83. There we go. And then I got 30% is the final exam. And I got a 79 on that, correct? So essentially all I need to put down here is 1, or 0.20 plus 0.50 plus 0.30, right? Because the weight is the percentage breakdown that they give for a grade, right? So grades, they always end up as 1 on the bottom, so you don't really have to worry about that. Essentially all you have to do is multiply essentially each of your categories by its weight, essentially is how it works. You can do the same thing in Canvas, multiply the total points you have in a category, you know what I'm saying, the grade for that category, and times it by the percentage. So 0.812, or essentially 0.812. Okay, and you can do this in the spreadsheet pretty easily too if you wanted to get that grade. Okay, that's the end of part 3.